So tonight's topic is called the value of life. Excuse me. It will raise our awareness about why we should meditate and what is the true purpose of doing that, as well as helping you feeling better about which direction you should move on. Because practice with meditation, you already experience a lot of things about peace, calmness, and feeling good about it. Because when you feel still, it feels somehow being positive about things and easier to let go too. That's practice more will get yourself understand, but sometimes you feel question is not quite answered yet, and that could be the last jigsaw that could help you fulfill. All right then, the value of life then. That's everyone. Let's begin. The value of life itself in this perspective that I like to share, it is to show the value of us being human and reverence is as well as being humility toward the virtues that allow us to be live in peace and harmony, as well as living our life with other. Okay, because we are not living alone. But to fulfill our life, being happy with it, we need to see the value. So what kind of value we need then? Well, first, we have to find the value by answering this question of life that many people ask. We all have already learned as we grow. Some even read the book too. That's a good thing. But sometimes, if we get a lot of information, we can have selection, right? So this, in Buddhist perspective, offer another kind of value of life in its own way. What does it offer then to answer this question, the question of life? Although we know life is short and we often drift into worldly pleasure that sometimes mostly bring us regret more than peace. Why? Because that's the way life is. But sometimes we tend to think that being happy, this is life. Being suffered is also life. Yes, it is. But wouldn't that be better if we just being happy than being suffered, right? But the thing is, life are always come together with happiness and suffering. That's how can we prepare our mind. So that way we can live it fully without being affected by this suffering that we experience. That's we can be aware of every moment in life that making us be ready and prepare whenever suffering come or whenever happiness come. So that way we won't be affected by such current. Okay. To prepare our life that there is such up and down. We don't need to do that much. All we have to do is we need to prepare and face it calmly by understand and accepting it that life there is suffering and happiness. But the thing is, we tend to prefer happiness. But please, it's only temporary. But it's better, right? Yeah, but it's temporary. But when it is part from us, we tend to suffer when we lost it. Therefore, we need to be able to stay above it, this up and down of life. And doing so, prepare our mind for that is we need to know and accept the truth. Know it first, then accept. In many theory, in many teaching, they showing their way of the truth. But here, the truth itself, it is something that is never changed. Truth is something never changed. Thus, therefore, the truth of life in Buddhist perspective are showing what here? That we are subject to these three forms of suffering. That is, we are undergo aging as we born. Along the way, we may be encounter some illness, less or more. And at the end of our lifespan, death is awaiting us. This is the truth, never change. Some may be trying to escaping it. I read or came across some of the article mentioned about a billionaire invest all of his wealth in order to overcome aging. And it seemed like it's work, but still we have to move forward death, no matter what. Aging can be overcome, but it's only prolonged for some time. We can never escape this, and these are the truths that never change. Thus, instead of recognizing these truths, most of humans tend to chase after the desire rather than accepting the truth, and thus often facing pain more than accepting it. By accepting this truth, they have also come with the burden. Burden what? My bad. When we try to run away from the truth, we try to achieve or attain our desire. But such desire maybe fulfill our desire, but it comes with a burden, for such as example, marriage, family, or possession. All of these are one thing that gonna be certain. We sooner or later must be separate. And it comes with worry as well as responsibility along the way. But remember, at the end, when death comes, we all must be separate. No matter how love each other we have for someone next to us, when we are separate, it is often being suffering. This is the burden of attachment that always come impact whenever we have. Okay? But the thing is it wrong to have it? It's not wrong. It's common and the way of how we live. But if we accepting and prepare for it, we will not be burdened by it. So that's to prepare for that. We have to be accepting that it is realistic, not pessimism. In other words, this teaching that I mentioned, please, it is realistic or reality that we face. We not try to run away or we not try to think negative about it. It is something that we are facing, but sometimes we tend to look away, don't looking at it or facing it. Thus, sometimes we don't feel peaceful at all when the truth comes. That is, we must sooner or later be separated. Thus, if we embrace it, we facing it, we can find our mind and our life live and face in peace by accepting as it really is. Therefore, our life won't be affected and finding more of better moving on and detached. Even though we have it, we won't be attached or burdened by it. As such, we can prepare our mind on this following taught by the Buddha. Taught that we must prepare our mind for number one, we gonna aging. We don't have to struggle, go against it. The most we can do is prolong, but we have to face it every moment in life. Illness or sickness, they come. But if we taking care of ourselves, it can make us be more healthy. That sickness sometimes come and go. It's only temporary, but it is along the way that we must face. And death, this no one can escape, even the Buddha himself. But if we prepare our mind for this, we won't be feeling of aging, sickness, or death. As such, we can constantly reflecting this to prepare our mind for that. So if we are accept the truth, we facing it, we prepare our mind already that we are subject to aging, sickness, and death. Then we prepare what? Prepare the mind already. But that is just only the mind. We need also to take some action. Action is of what? Accepting and knowing the true purpose. So that way we can take some action, heading for the direction that won't affect our life, that make it more suffering. And by knowing the true purpose, by accepting the truth is here. Number one, that we must realize the purpose of our life. We are not born to just live, enjoy. This is one of the reasons people asking me too. One, I think it's on Tuesday, this last Tuesday. In fact, there was a group of students. No, there were a group of students. 3 days they came, but one of them asked quite interesting. Venerable, I have question. It was a young girl, I remember. I just wondering, why are you born? Why are you ordained? What is the purpose of your ordained? I recall it. I paused back a little bit. Not many people ask me this question. So I told her this. You know, this come to my mind when I was in college. Uh, at the time, I think it's about third years in university. I realized one day when I wake up, it took me about 45 minutes for me to ride the train to the university. And in the morning and in the evening, after the school is over, I have to ride another 45 minutes. I do this every day between Monday to Friday. No school on Saturday and Sunday, of course. The thing is, I wake up, I go to school. After I study, I come back home. I have dinner. I go to bed. Then I wake up. I go to school. I come back from school. I have dinner. I go to bed. I keep doing this like this every day. Just come, man, it's like I'm going to the loop, same thing over and over. It is all I have to do in my life. After I get out of university, I'm not gonna do like this too, instead of going to school, but go to work. That is something I begin to searching. Is there more than this? And that's asking, are we were born to just live, make a money, then have a family, and then die? Is it for that? Really? And that's this something that maybe we need to look for further than that, because by working, I'm sure it's not the purpose of life. So therefore, we will work on one thing, not to enjoy, not to just work our life until the end. The Buddha has given some answer when people asking on this. He said, mentioned this. He thought that we were born to cultivate merit, develop perfections, and follow the Buddha's path to Nibbana. All right, if we are not Buddhist, we can just cross about the last answer. Buddha's path to that Nirvana. Leave alone, why should we develop or cultivate merit or develop perfection? The thing is, if we want to be happy, by doing so, doing good, it is called making merit. So cultivate merit is, if you want to be happy, don't suffer, living peacefully. Doing good is something that we can, at least we should do. And if we want to live perfectly without any suffering, develop perfection. We want to be perfect, but we have to make no mistake. At the very least, these two reasons can be just enough for you to moving on, living, finding the purpose of life already. But if somehow you have the same feeling just like me when I was in university, for example, being born, go to work, get home, have dinner, go to bed, get up, go to work, get off work, go to bed, having dinner and go to bed. If you feel like this is going to the loop, how can you break or escape this loop of cycle? Well, the Buddha path toward Nirvana, that's one of the options that can break the loop or the cycle. But there are more on that. But this time, just know the purpose that by doing these three things, cultivate merit, develop perfection, and follow the path toward Nibbana, can allow one to find the true purpose and break free from the cycle of rebirth. Got my point in this part? Here then. Starting first with reflecting of death. Understand this, we have to reflecting on death. Whoa, hold on. You, you told me to do good, but reflecting on death first? Yeah, there are some steps. Step one, we have to have our mind set in the right view. The wrong view in here is, if we live our life, we wait passively for death. This is, in other words, you live a life, that's it. To live, yes. But if live without purpose, is wasting a life away. It needs to have purpose. And the right view is that knowing that death is certain. So we have to use and spend our time wisely by create the good deeds like the purpose of life, making merit, develop perfection, follow the path toward Nibbana. And that's when we have the right view. We can move to the right direction. So remember, Start first with use every moment for the benefit of yourself. Then you can do it for others. So the purpose of life after reflecting on death is life purpose is not to die. It is to cultivate goodness, purify the mind, and moving closer from toward the liberation from suffering. Thus, this is how we should set our mindset. And it should also answer why should we meditate? Because by practice meditation, it begins to purify the mind bit by bit. But the question is, people asking our but he shared his question with me too. It's quite interesting. This person, he asking this. Venerable, I meditate with you almost every week. We came and meditate. The thing is, can I ask, when are we gonna be enlightened, free from suffering? And anyone had this kind of thought before? I do too. But when I practice more and more and learning more in depth, I begin to realize to escape death, to escape suffering, being enlightened, all of those. Start first with still the mind. If you can still the mind at 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, start with that first. If you can do more and more and more, it closer. But if you have not still the mind yet, if you just feel calm yet, if you just feel calm only, it's not still yet. At least it helps you closer to what being still. And your purpose already start that you have begin to fulfill it. But it not right there yet. So if you still the mind, you are moving closer. So that's my answer. If you have question, when am I gonna be able to become enlightened? You can, but you have to start by stilling the mind first and start with the meditation, being relaxed and calm. You feel happy. That's a good sign. You are good to go. Okay. Then there are 3 guidelines to help you achieving this goal and fulfill your life purpose. And these are number 1, avoid all kind of negative or being evil. All of things that's making yourself feeling or being unhappy. Imagine if you hurt someone, they feel unhappy. If someone hurt you, you feel unhappy too. Same thing, be considerate. So avoid all kind of evil. That's number 1. Number 2, do good to the fullest extent. And number 3, to purify the mind, and that is to still the mind. Once the mind becomes still, it being purified. The longer you can be still, the more your mind can be purified. With that, keep the mind bright and clear, for death gives no warning. Thus, being aware that that we reflect, death come at any moment in our life. We never know for certain when it's gonna come, but we know it's come for sure. So that's being aware, maintained by your mind, by yourself, your life, by avoid all kind of evil, doing good deeds to the full extent and purify the mind every moment. As such, the mind at this peaceful feeling, you will have a clear mind, which open the door toward heaven. Clouded mind leads to suffering, and our final thought determine next beginning, as the message already implied in here. Some may be asking, how can we go to heaven? I have different belief in religion. In Buddhism, there is own way that how determine one's death can leading to happiness or suffering. According to the Buddhas, he mentioned here that if at death a person's mind is happy, bright and clear, he see all of those positivity in life that he had accumulated while he was still alive. That image will show into at the moment of his life. As such, it will clearly bring him to the happy place or heavenly. But if his mind are a cloud or feeling remorse of his own action that he had done throughout his life with all negativity, that would surely lead him to suffering. But please, these are not infinite. It means in here that it's just only temporary, as all the rule of nature, that nothing is permanent. Stay in heaven or stay in unhappy place are not permanent neither. Once the time that a person stay is over, they will have opportunity to starting over again. But if they are living a life with same thing, negativity again, a person will also heading to the same place where they came from. That is why mind at death should always keep bright and clear. By practicing meditation, avoid all kind of evil and do the good deeds to the full extent will surely guarantee the mind to be at heaven door. Okay. Therefore, to fulfill your mind with the merits, there are 10 actions or 10 ways of merit that one can perform. Please, it's free. It's nothing costing you anything. Number one, practice of generosity, whether it's your possession, your idea, your help, your labor, forgiveness. These are generosity that one can do. Practice of moral discipline, put guarding the mind from all evil or negativity, such as 5 precepts, can surely guarantee one to live in the positive life. Number 3, practice of meditation. Already know that feelings when you are happy and peaceful, that's a sign that your mind are bright and shine already. Number 4, being humility. When you are being humility with less ego, people tend to approach and love you, sharing with more positive things than taking advantage or looking down. Number 5, helping others. This could also bring friendship and live in harmony. Number 6, sharing merit. Just like we did this at our meditation. When we are feeling happy and peace, spread loving kindness. These also one of the action that one can perform. And you don't gonna lose anything because it's brighter and brighter. Or if someone doing good deeds, you sharing your congratulation with them. These also count as 10 ways of merit one can do. Number 8, listen to the Dhamma like I am sharing my knowledge that I learned with you in basic. This is also part of that. Number 9, teaching the Dhamma. This is also part thing that I am sharing at the moment. And number 10, having the right view, understand the concept that we are not born to just waste our life waiting for death, but to do good deeds, purify our mind, so that way we can achieve liberation from suffering. These are the 10 ways of merit that one can start with. All right. But there's too much here. Make it short for you then. The essence by these can make it into 3 foundations. Number 1, practice of generosity, practice of morality or precepts, and meditation. In other words, these are in short. One can practice simply with this foundation. Okay. So that's starting from now. What are you gonna do tomorrow with generosity? How you gonna maintain your mind with precepts? Practicing meditation whenever you feel convenient. Set this goal in mind every day. Surely will bring your mind closer toward heaven door. And furthermore, aside from practicing these 3, the purpose to understand that is having the right view. When you have the right view, it will surely fulfill your purpose and making your life be more worth of living rather than wasting the time and waiting for it to come. So that's in the end. Once you realize this, I hope you can now making your purpose be more meaningful, because the way that we live our life, it doesn't determine by the value of the age, but how we live. Live in goodness, living with mindfulness, with the true purpose in life. That's allow this. It will let your everyday bring yourself closer toward purity, peace, and nibbana. That's understand this about your life. Hope this could be a good start for you and answer your question. What is the purpose of our life? Why should we meditate? That's everyone.